there are a number of rules that we need to observe in order to understand the middle way. Everyone claims that he or she, they are following the middle way. First of all, number one is we need to consider observing the rights of the Creator, Allah Jalla Ala.
Just for you and what you want, right? It's like McDonald's, have it your way. Everything has to be what I choose. And that's not how, I don't believe that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to live our lives.
Something that we should teach the youth. That becoming religious doesn't mean you have to sit with the Mawlana in the masjid, read Quran all day, you can't play sports, you can't have any fun. This is perhaps many of our seniors, they experience this in their madrasa.
The whole mahal al-niza' is totally off. It's the wrong thing to focus on. You invite people to focus and quibble on these things when you don't get to the heart of the matter. One of the things that we struggle with, and one of the things I try to tell people these days, is the degree to which individualism has been forced upon us. And it's certainly true that the modern age is an age of fracturing and separation, and that it is attempted. And if you go back, if you want to be nerdy like I am, you can go back to Locke and you can see how, he was against sort of any involuntary attachments, whether it's from your family or your tribe or your God or your religion. Everything should be chosen. Well, we're living the consequences of that in life, where we're basically given this ethos to live life in full rebellion mode, in constant rebellion mode against anything that we have not chosen for ourselves. If the idea of autonomy and freedom is that you are constantly reacting to every imposed norm that you did not choose, then we will simply see that every generation has a new horizon to rebel against. And that is something why, when it came to earlier, it was previous generations were rebelling against certain gender roles. And now we have a rebellion against the idea of gender itself, right? That was the next horizon after. Now what's the next horizon after that? Maybe the idea of species itself, who knows? But the thing is that the ethos of the times and the ethos of the era is constant agitation and rebellion against something that you did not choose, which is literally the opposite of Islam. Ma'nan, yani submission to what Allah has chosen and destined you for. Literally couldn't pick, if we had to sit here in a room together and hey, you figure out what the opposite of Islam is, and let's all figure out together what is the opposite of Islam. You could not think of something more opposite of Islam than the age that we currently live in, autonomy, freedom, rebellion, this sort of thing, right? So it's a huge question. The society that you grow up in is telling you that everything is your choice and should be your choice. So, whether it comes to what you study in school and what your career, what your job is going to be and where you're going to live. It's perfectly acceptable if you choose to move 3-4 hours away from your parents if you got a good job offer. And then people will look at you funny if you chose to live next to the masjid, right? Or next to your parents, you chose to stay with your parents in the same house or next door or something like this. Alhamdulillah, from my, 3-4 days in the UK so far, it seems like you have a little bit more intact here in the UK than in the United States of America. But I know that the pressure is the same. That even if you haven't done it in your generation, the pressure is going to be on your kids' generation to basically make all these choices just for you and what you want, right? It's like McDonald's, have it your way. Everything has to be what I choose. And that's not how, I don't believe that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to live our lives. That He wants us first to ask, well, what does He want from us? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us? And that's exactly what the Shaykh was saying. When you want to be anfa' lin-nas, you want to be the most beneficial to people, you have to have a sort of evaluation and identify what do the people need, what service is not being provided, where is society failing them. And we were just sitting just a bit ago with another beloved friend and mentor, and he was talking about this as well, that Islam is meant to contribute to society and transform society. We're not this weak sort of, hide-away minority, oh, poor us, we're the victims. We have the solutions to what our society is going through. You see the drug addiction, you see the marriage breaking up, you see the kids being raised without their biological parents, you see people getting involved in drugs and in gangs and stuff like that. Islam has the solution to all these problems. And we walk around huddled over like we're the problem. We are the potential solution, right? So all of society has so many forces that are working on you to convince you that either you're a victim, or you're just supposed to rebel against everything that sort of is pressuring in upon you, or you're supposed to be successes, for the guys, driving a Bugatti and smoking a cigar or some nonsense like this, right? It's endless, right? What is success? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say is actual success in the Quran and Surah Al-Mu'minun and Surah Al-Shams? Success is purifying yourself, going to Jannah, because only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what is the complete self, the total self, not just this body that's going to get old and stop being beautiful. I know, mashallah, Imam is a very handsome man sitting right in front of me. Mashallah, tabarakallah. You're only going to be beautiful for a little bit, awesome. Ma'alesh. You're going to be old, and then no one's going to think that you're attractive anymore, right? Or you're going to be rich, and then you're going to spend all your money, not going to have any money anymore, right? Is that what success is? That's not success. Success is going to Jannah, is getting to the gates, and the angels welcome you, right? That is what success is. So any single pressure, message, influencer that tells you anything other than that is lying to you, first of all, and second of all, is part of this pressure that you face. So, we could talk all night about it. I'll end there just for the sake of time. Barakallahu feekum.